Hello everybody, Floppy Hat Photos back here again for another episode of my Be Positive van. And today's little bit of this episode is going to be showing you all the carried awayness, I guess you want to call it. I decided to tear out some panels and stuff in here, and what I ended up with is the panels I'd mentioned before turned out was going to be, they had a bunch of weird holes and whatnot, whatever. So I finally got the rest of that panel removed. The panel actually runs all the way up here to the front. I didn't feel like pulling that out yet. I might, but right now I think I'm good with it. Not sure if you can really see this or not. It's kind of a little dark in here. But I actually used a one of those little vibrating saws, like the cast saws, I'm not sure what they call it, just the Harbor Freight cheap one, and I came in and cut that plywood there. I'll probably trim it back a little bit, roll this cloth back in behind it, and as you can see, it's just a extruded aluminum that's been cut and bent around this window, so that's not really a problem at all. The window's in there. I wouldn't mind having a bigger opening, because like right here, all I have is this little tiny opening right here that opens up, and that's all the air I get through, but it's kind of nice to have. So it's going to end up being two pieces. I could order a one big piece, but it's not worth the hassle factor. The piece I took out was actually put together from two pieces. So might be three. I don't know if there's more up front here or not. But all this wiring and stuff, I'm going to go through and try and figure out what's needed and what's not needed. I know this orange and black stuff right here seemed like all it did is went to those mood lightings and that, so that's all going to get cut out and removed. But I want to trace it back as far as I can before I cut it to make sure where it is. There's actually a fuse block right down here that I don't know what's going in and out of it. I need to get the van on, testing equipment in here, and start doing that. But for right now, all I want to do is get this stuff out of here. There is a main support beam that the manufacturer that did this upgrade put in that kind of holds the top on a little better, adds some support. So they have cut, as you see, a lot of this out to put the bigger windows into the van. I believe this might have started out life as just a cargo van per se. From the looks of it, there was no windows in here, I don't think, from the factory at all. So the fuel fill up tube here, I wish that wasn't so big. I might do a little research and see if a guy can kind of maybe cut that down and make that smaller. It doesn't need to be that protruding into the van. Seat belt was mounted here. It's been removed. Taken both the seat belts out. Also back here in the back, you can see the carpet's off. I'm going to put some sound deadening in here before I go too much farther. This was a giant pain in the butt. The bottom bracket underneath kept spinning that would not get the bolt out. I actually had to use a grinder, a cutoff wheel, just side grinder, just took forever and ever. Finally got off there. I really was worried about having a fire, so I had to put in some plywood to kind of make a little spark arrestor, basically, lack of a better term. I am leaving the heater core / air conditioner core down here because someday, who knows, I might convert it into a campfire heated hot water producer. So I'm going to just leave it like it is. There are fan controls for it up front. I probably will eliminate that also and just go with a rear fan control right here personally. There's also a 15 amp fuse there and some relays and stuff at that point. So I'll probably just eliminate that and just go with a high and low on that fan. The hardest part is figuring out what I'm putting back in here. I'd love to do like tongue and groove, but there's such a large span across here where this window is that I'm afraid I won't be able to get the support I need and tie into the wood here and make it look right. So I'm going to do a little experiment with a couple pieces and see what I can tie into, because there's just such a big gap from this aluminum over here to this piece to kind of screw in anything. And I'm thinking about maybe tapping back into this aluminum and just screwing the tongue and groove right to it. So don't know yet. We'll look at it. Right now I'm just kind of up in the air. Also, one of the things I've done, I tore out this back panel back here on the side. It was up in there. It's gone now. The door panels are gone. You can see over here the door panel and there's gone. I have them all still to make patterns off of, and I'm not going to put the plastic back up around the top of the windows. It's not worth it. I may spray some adhesive on there and do some gluing, some material or something like that up there. Also, both the barn doors, the back barn door here and the side barn door, the cables are busted and messed up. So what I'm doing right now is just looping up this, I think, the 5th treatment of JB Weld. Gooping the stuff on, letting it dry, gooping another coat on. And my hope is I'm going to be able to use that to keep it from pulling through the door so quickly. So I can just pull the cable and not have to pull, I can just pull this part right here, not the actual whole thing. Because if I can get this to stay still, I want to pull it out so far the door won't look quite as intrusive. And I think I might be able to actually make this back in the handle and shorten it up with some loops and stuff that I can actually use the handle again. That's my ultimate goal, I hope. So also I got some speaker wires in that door I'm going to cut out, because my theory is I will never put speakers back in that door, and if I do, I'll upgrade to better speaker wire anyway. I'm going to start pulling out every piece of wire I can, because that way it's just less likely for more weight, and two, less likely to get caught into something and whatnot, whatever. So right now I am extremely scared and how bad this looks, and this thing is all just stripped out. It was a good looking van, and right now it's absolutely just a pile of crap looking things. It's just, it looks horrendous. The carpet's not that bad a shape. I need to pull it up and take out the seat brackets. I think I'm going to probably remove those. I haven't made my mind up completely because they're pretty flush, pretty even right here with it. They don't stick up too bad. And I think I want to skin this floor in some kind of plywood or some kind of laminate flooring or something. But I don't know. I haven't made my mind up 100% because right now the carpet's pretty bad shape, but it's just ugly. It's not too bad. You can see it's all faded out and stained. And my theory is I can always upgrade the flooring later. And if I don't mind the carpet and I can just vacuum it out, I might as well save the money right now and use it on other projects, then upgrade the carpet when the time comes. So again, hard telling, don't know exactly what I'll do with that, but that's my process at the point. So pretty much, there's the big deal of it so far. I got all this pulled out. The insulation, I did take all the insulation out also. It was pretty grody looking. There was a lot of like acorns and stuff where it looked like the rats had been, or mice or somebody had been in here at one point. And it was all super, super old. There was some mice poop in there too, but it was all very old stuff. You can tell between like fresh smell of piss, rat piss and mouse piss, and this was not it at all. There was some just the shells and stuff in there, and I got rid of all of it. I'm not a big fan of that pressed in fiberglass insulation. It's not worth a damn. So I'll probably go with like a denim, something like that, maybe with some full backing and stuff in there before I put the plywood up back on there. So I can get a lot better insulation nowadays than what they had back in the 90s when this was put together. So that was pretty much the whole thing there, I guess. The update is just I don't know if I'm making progress. I know I'm tearing it apart well, so hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to get it put back together. That's going to be the big, big key there. So anyway, I will talk to you guys when I get the next chunk done. So have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Be positive. Get out there, work in your van, or do some traveling, whatever you need.